Hello, everybody. Excited Utterance here. My name's Hella. It's Monday morning for me, and it's Sunday afternoon for you, I suppose. Maybe it's Sunday night. I don't know. But all I know is it's nice and bright and sunny, and it's 7 a.m., not 6 a.m., and it's not winter anymore. And look, I have my arms out and everything. I have my coffee. Yay. I'm in a much better mood than I used to be for Hearsay for days. It's great. Anyway, let's see if I'm in a better mood once the verdict comes through. Yes, welcome everyone. Welcome. It is a verdict watch edition of Hearsay for Days. Well, Judge Gull, she wanted to keep this trial quiet, but didn't really work, did it? Did not really work. People got wind of it anyway. People got into that courtroom and people are talking about it probably just as much as they would have anyway. Isn't that true? Garrett says, hello. I say, Garrett. Like Stella. Late and hacked Google history. How long does it take to hack your Google history? Late and sandwich stream. You know who's late? Sean. Sean's late. There you go. He's not backstage yet, but that's not that unlike him. He's often a couple minutes late. So, not too worried. AG is here. Nancy is a grifting witch. Nancy, we found out yesterday, is worth $25 million. Now, does that make you want to vomit? Makes me want to vomit. EU, what do you mean it's no longer winter? It's no longer winter. It's spring here. It is spring. And in my part of Australia, that means it may as well be summer. May as well be summer because summer goes for about 6 months. They are deliberating on Sunday? No. Unless they've changed the rules, I think they're getting Sunday off. So they're back to deliberating tomorrow morning for you guys. So no. When someone tells us to keep quiet, we get loud. Yes, we do. Helen doesn't know the new law. What's the new law? Dali? Hey, what's the new law? Do you know what the new law is?
With Ricada. He was posting Aaron's supposed Gmail or Google search history and just
Children.
and April's acting like a 13-year-old emo girl on Twitter.
Oh, I have seen her tweets in between doing research for this stream, and I was like, Vom, something about you being my menu or something, and I was like, oh, that's TMI. I need to block you.
Yeah.
Quick, I need to
like
block you.
They're the nerds.
Just, that was too much. I was like, I don't need to know anything about that. Taryn says, our winter hasn't even started yet. 89 degrees today with 500% humidity. Where are you, Taryn? 500% humidity? What?
She's under the ocean.
You must be. Are you a sea creature? Good to have you here, Taryn. Lisa Faltersack is here. Good to see you. Mavka is here. 500% humidity would not be hilarious, Mavka. It would not be hilarious. Yeah, I almost puked. Yeah. Is this the real April? I thought maybe it was a parody account. Nah, I don't think that could be a parody account. Nah, it's too detailed.
It might be
You're
Ricada,
in Louisiana. You might have exaggerated just a little bit, yeah. Okay, so we're going to get going. I'm sure Mr. Sean will be around shortly. Hey, Distance here. Yay, Distant. The account was made in 2011. Yeah, that should be April. She's about that old. Oh, dear. All right, let's get going. Hearsay Today is Sunday, 3rd of November 2024. So we are doing Richard Allen and the whole situation with the trial that was never supposed to be seen. Never supposed to be seen. But we're doing it more from the chats. From the chats, everybody, as we always do. So let's go. Boom. Whoa! Is this now the final round of Girls Rules? Could it be the final round of Girls Rules? I hope so. But you never know. You never know. If this ends up being a hung jury, she could end up presiding over another trial. Let's hope not. We're officially at this point of deliberations. How long has it been? I think they've been deliberating about 9 hours.
No,
now.
16.
Is it that long?
It's in the teens.
Oh, man. No, kitty cat's like, no, can't be that long. Alrighty. So, Miss B, who usually follows the Brian Koberger case mostly, has this to say, and she's talking about Jennifer Coffin Licker. Or Coffin Digger, or however you like to call it, says, Dolly?
Jennifer Coffindafter, the woman who spent almost 2 years whining about Burger King wearing suits, not praises the judge for allowing BK to wear suits. You can't make this shit up.
Right, and she's quoted Jennifer Coffindafter, and this is on the 8th of November 2024. I think she's feeling a bit ill, Jenny C. from the blog.
Poor thing.
Not quite sure, but there we go.
These motions are on repeat. Early on, Brian Koberger was afforded the right to wear civilian clothes to hearings by the previous judge. The new judge ruled that BK will continue to be able to dress in suit and tie for hearings and a tux for trial. Good call. We don't want BK treated like Richard Allen was treated. We need BK treated civilly, pre-conviction, sensually loving, if justice is to prevail.
What's Jenny on? Is she like suddenly being
Wine?
prescribed with Xanax or something? Like, this is very strange.
Well, I don't know. Maybe the election results hit her hard. I don't know.
So that was on the 8th of November. And then, like, back on the 4th of January 2024, she said, I can find photo after photo and video after video of Brian Koberger's ridiculously lax courtroom security, right? So she compared Brian to Richard and, like, look at this tiny little emaciated man with like 50 guards around him being restrained at a pre-trial hearing, and Brian walking around in a suit at a pre-trial hearing, and now she's saying that that's not fair.
No.
Now she's saying that. Lady, what's going on? Like, I don't get what's going on with Coffindafter. Like, is she getting laid finally? It's the only explanation. Hey, Maddie B, how's it going? Liberace tux for trial. We're working on it. We have a group. We're working on the suits for the trial. Jade says,
You mean pre-trial. He is presumed innocent in the eyes of the law you claim to care about. You spent months complaining about him wearing a suit and eating a salad. Now you're doing a 180. Make up your mind, woman.
make up your mind.
Ciao, please.
Ciao. All right, now to the big story. And goodness me, Nancy Pants. Nancy Pants, what have you done? You screwed with the wrong people. Now, it's interesting with Nancy Grace. even her loyal followers, and there actually are some, she's really pissed off a lot of people with her take on Richard Allen, because it's not 100% guilty, 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 even with your regular everyday mums and dads. They haven't bought into this whole Richard Allen is the one thing on this one, whereas she's pushing it super hard. And she's going after the YouTubers.
The YouTubers.
And the YouTubers. And last time we looked, actually, that's pretty much the only place that she is broadcasting. I think she might have a podcast.
Yeah.
But she's not on TV anymore. So she kind of is a YouTuber. She's kind of a YouTuber, guys. So Andrea has said this. Do you want to be Andrea?
Sure.
Sure.
Definitely. Hi, Nancy Grace. Care to explain why you have, in defamatory fashion, placed my name at the top of a video that is not mine to attribute to me attacks, on the family that I have not engaged in?
Yeah. So apparently, well, I mean, there is supposedly attacks on the family. All right. Now we say the family, as in the families of Libby and Abby. Let's just watch what she has to say. Sorry about this in advance.
In the courtroom at Delphi, that attacks have been made, brutal, vicious attacks on Abby and Libby's family. I hated to give the names of the YouTubers attacking them because I felt it would only give them more attention. But under much attack, I will now do so. Listen.
Revelations from the state of
Ms
Indiana's
Excited
case
Utterance.
against Rick Allen have thus far exposed the collusion, incompetence, and utter fraud that has taken place regarding the murders of 14-year-old Liberty Rosalind German and 13-year-old Abigail Joyce Williams in February 2017.
That is from YouTube, from a program purporting to be True Crime Design, and more.
The implications of such revelations are nothing new to me or my subscribers, but merely confirm our beliefs and suspicions as to what happened to Abby and Libby.
Again, from True Crime Design, they claim to know what really happened. Here, they claim that the shot of the girls on the bridge has been faked, and they implicate Sister Kelsey. Listen.
This image is not real, nor is it the last photograph of Abigail, just moments before the killer approached. It first appeared on Facebook, not through law enforcement. It is an edited combination of this authentic photograph of Abby playing softball in a hotel parking lot and the bridge guy image itself, which is a template of sorts.
Susan Hendricks is joining me, investigative reporter and author of...
Right, so that's a clear error, or is it on purpose? Who knows? But it's definitely not Andrea, and Andrea's called it out. Then what happened was it got taken down. Now DB True Crime Audit said,
"Oh, the showdown I've always wanted."
Alyssa Amsterdam, like, Nancy Grace is the Jerry Springer of true crime. Yeah. Yeah, well, I can think of others, but true. Oh, Sean.
Hey.
Sean,
Hello.
Sean.
Hello.
How are
You're at the part I'm kind of curious about myself. I didn't get to see this video that Nancy Grace put together. So, the part where Andrea's... Unless you guys already did it.
No, well, I can show you because... All right, so we'll play it again for the blogger. It's not too long. Yeah, she accuses some YouTubers of blaming the family. Yeah.
Blaming the family. Yes. It's Libby's mom's the reason why. It's like, I don't understand that, but we'll see.
Okay. All right. I'll show you. So there's this.
Attacks have been made, brutal, vicious attacks on
vicious.
Abby and Libby's family. I hated to give the names of the YouTubers attacking them because I felt it would only give them more attention. But under much attack, I will now do so. Listen.
I haven't heard that ever
Revelations
happening.
from the state of Indiana's case against
So her
Rick
name's
Allen
up there.
have thus far exposed the collusion, incompetence, and utter fraud that has taken place regarding the murders of 14-year-old Liberty Rosalind German and 13-year-old Abigail Joyce Williams in February 2017.
That is from YouTube, from a program purporting to be True Crime Design and more.
So she says true crime
The
design.
implications of such revelations
then that
are
stays up.
nothing new to me or my subscribers, but merely confirm our beliefs and suspicions as to what happened to Abby and Libby.
Again, from True Crime Design, they claim to know what really happened. Here, they claim that the shot of the girls on the bridge has been faked, and they implicate Sister Kelsey. Listen.
This image is not real, nor is it the last photograph of Abigail, just moments before the killer approached. It first appeared on Facebook, not through law enforcement. It is an edited combination of this authentic photograph of Abby playing softball in a hotel
This is
parking lot
ridiculous.
and the bridge guy image itself,
So-
which is a template of sorts.
Whoever said that, anyway,
Susan
though,
Hendricks is joining.
I know that picture. That is fucking hilarious, though. The state's like, well, who is this person in the back? And we're like, oh, we don't know. We never found him. And it's like,
Yeah.
that person, yeah.
Yeah, there's a dude in the back.
Well, no. But I'm just saying, that person didn't see Bridge Guy. That person, where was that person at? We don't know any of that. Oof.
But I mean, like that whole idea of it coming from this photo.
Uh-oh.
Please.
Well, I mean, I will say on both sides of this, like I remember, like that Fig guy who was running around for a while.
Fig guy.
Yeah, Fig Solves. He was like, he was part of the Richard Allen's guilty. I'm an engineer, so I can engineer this. It's like, let me get out my slide rule. It was really bad. He ended up nuking his channel.
Really?
Yeah. No, it was like FIG Solves, and I was like, brother, you have no idea how bad that's the bad name. But that, holy cow, that is just pure ignorance right there.
Well, there's more.
That's not even the right orientations for the head.
I know. That's like I've had a good look at this photo. It's not photoshopped. It's not. It's fine. It's silly. That whole idea is silly. Okay, so Andrea then goes, Dolly?
Might want to take a third look at this one too. Nancy Grace. This isn't my video. But you've attached my name to it and falsely attributed it to me. Weird how you keep making this mistake.
So she did it again.
Now, have they actually known? Because just, I mean, there are going to be some, like, just saying, hey, that's not me. Have they actually known? Had they been put on notice? Like, because it all depends on how you actually notify them.
Well, I suppose is tweeting it enough, or Andrea would have gone through.
Maybe. Well, I'm just saying. I mean, hopefully Andrea did it the way she notified the whole, like, reached out to them formally, because that might be enough. Like, oh, I didn't see the tweet. Like, I didn't see a retweet.
Yeah.
Like, that would actually be pretty plausible.
Now,
the first one was taken down.
Yeah.
So
It was? Well, there you go.
The first video was taken down.
Oh, well, there you go.
Then
Yeah, that's
another
bad
video
for-
went. Yeah, it is bad for her. Yeah, and then another one was put up, and so this Johnny Dangerous person goes, "Hey, it's back up." Screenshotted it for posterity, and is another piece of video with Andrea Burkhart YouTube on it, top left, and
the second
Andrea has tweeted that and gone, hey, want to take a look at this? Why are you doing it again?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? Darla, you want to get out your Nick voice?
I knowingly attribute something to someone after being made aware of its falsity. It has another name for it, eh?
Oh, not that, Nick.
No, we were talking about him earlier.
I remember it from a huge civil trial some 2.5 years ago, eh? Folks remind me of the technical term for it.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, Nick was actually on here yesterday, and he watched this video with us. That was before we saw this second one.
Is there any
as well.
chance True Crime Design had her name on it and she just took the video?
It's possible. Well, actually, no. I have a theory on this. I think another channel took True Crime Design's video and maybe a couple of others and put the wrong names on top.
Okay.
And were critiquing them and putting the wrong names on top, right? And we're trying to discredit these theories and say, all these YouTubers who like Richard Allen, they're all coming up with these theories and they're wrong. He's guilty, guilty, guilty. So I think it might have been another channel who was doing it, and then Nancy Grace's producers then picked that up and then didn't check it. So I think that might have been what happened. But it's no excuse. She's got a ridiculously big audience, and she goes and doesn't check and puts Andrea's name up there. So, and twice. Not once, twice. So, Kay is Forensic Furor. She goes, smear campaign, disgraceful. Now, I really like this one, actually. Messy Moo Moo goes and does a little role play. Goes, intern says, Andrea Burkhart seems to be popular in her coverage of Richard Allen's trial. She's in court every day and live streams the details after. And Nancy Grace goes, she's a YouTuber, who cares? And intern goes, she's a lawyer and gets 100,000 views. Nancy Grace goes, get me the dirt. Intern says, there's nothing. Sound of slap.
Yeah.
And Nancy Grace goes, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Do that. Oh, okay. And there's more. Nancy Grace said, oh, do you want to do Nancy Grace voice?
The Delphi murders trial. Nancy Grace and malicious claims against Abby's and Libby's family. It's hateful. It's vile, like my face. Listen to the full program here.
We delve into attacks on the victims' families. I first found out about this a while back. Susan and Hendricks and I discussed it at the courthouse. I then went on a fact-finding mission and found the attacks on the victims' families, even claiming, believe it or not, that the victim's sister, Kelsey, is the, quote, real killer. It's evil, it's hateful, it's vile. Many people bent over backwards to defend this, to claim it's not happening. It is happening, and I'm going to play it for you.
This is the same woman, meanwhile, who called Casey Anthony tot mom and used the death of her poor child for ratings and sensationalized it for years.
Oh, yeah, well, she's a woman, and I don't know if this has been brought up before. Nancy Grace was actually a very awful, awful person as a prosecutor. Multiple times she'd been overturned. She'd been admonished by the Fourth Circuit out of... she'd been admonished by federal judges for her inability to provide evidence, hiding exculpatory evidence, and just being generally shitty. So, no, Nancy Pelosi is... I'm sorry. Nancy Pelosi is a scumbag, too. Nancy Grace is a bit of a scumbag herself.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Yeah, so now this got me. So Mark on Twitter said, Nancy Grace, there's been a market for this depraved behavior, Bob Motter, Turtle Boy, and Sleuthy Goosey are all some of the players involved in the Koberger or Reed conspiracy campaigns. There is money to be had and people to swindle with their $10 super chats via YouTube.
Hey.
So this Mark person really has an agenda with some people. And it's like, well, okay, fine if you want to go and use what Nancy's saying to put those people's names out
I've
there.
never seen
Great.
Sleuthy Goosey do anything apart from covering, like posting documents and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Does she even have a
maybe her
YouTube
Twitter
channel?
is no, she does. But I don't see her using it recently.
No,
But
she just-
I think her Twitter's monetized. But whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
Like these people work really hard to make any kind of income at all. Of like YouTube's really hard. YouTube is so hard to make money from. You work super hard, and then you kind of got to just hope that people donate.
Yeah.
So yeah, to just make fun of $10 super chats is it's good. You
Well,
try,
what
mate.
is Mark? He's a behaviorist. Well, like, I'm curious to know what his. Okay, I want to pull him up.
Yeah,
What's his goal?
exactly.
Behaviorist.
With 2 T's.
Let's see here, because this would be hilarious to see.
Yeah. Hey, Moon Goddess. Hey, Hella. The video Nancy has is from TCD's second video called Something with Bombshell. Yeah, Moon Goddess. I know we were looking at it, right? So it's some other YouTuber who was going through people's videos and putting their names on it, and it was all very sort of drama-esque. So I think that's where Nancy has gotten it from. But there's no excuse. Just because someone else put the name there doesn't mean that she shouldn't be checking it, or her people shouldn't be checking it. It's still
Well, yeah, somebody should have fixed it and realized there's an issue there.
absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
But yes,
Hey,
he doesn't
beautiful.
have anything on his description. But calling himself behaviorist makes it sound like that's you want to talk about bullshit phrenology level pseudoscience.
Exactly.
Mark's going to tell you to pick a card, pick any card.
Beautiful waterfall. Can someone explain to me how Richard Allen showed up to Ellie Radar in the first place? He did the right thing. He called up.
No.
Well,
No. Can I have full screen? May I have the floor?
You may have the floor. Hang on, I just put you there. Go.
Richard Allen decided to go to the police, and
Wait.
Sorry.
Richard Allen went to the police and went, "Oh, hey, I was at the bridge that day." It's like, "Oh yeah, where those 2 people were brutally murdered. Hey, that's me. Ha, I was there. I want to help." And then later on, they interviewed him, and then later on, they came back to him and said, "Oh yeah, I own a gun at 40 caliber. That's interesting. How'd you know?" "Yeah, sure, I'll come down and talk to you guys." If Richard Allen had said shit to nobody, guess what would have happened?
Nothing.
Do not talk to the cops. They are not looking for you to be your friend. Okay? It's just like in Memento. They're looking for John G. Have you guys seen Memento?
No.
Oh my gosh, that's a great movie.
I'll write it down.
The ending of it's phenomenal. He's looking for a killer, and the bad guy's named John G, but he suffers from like amnesia, so he can't remember more than 30 minutes. So he has to write things down as he goes, and he's like, "You know what? You'll be my John G." And he kills the guy. It's like, they decided you're the bad guy now, Richard Allen. See? And now he spent time eating shit, stuck in a jail cell, and has to fight for his life.
Prison cell.
Yeah. Don't ever talk to the fucking cops like that. The cops say, "Did you see the armed criminal run down the street with a bag of money?" I'd probably get that.
No.
Okay? I can see you talking to the cops there. But like, hey, there was a brutal murder. Oh, I was at that scene. I was at the scene of the crime. Don't fucking do that.
And this is the thing,
like
though.
when those girls were being brutally butchered, I was right there. Don't ever do that.
And like, I hope people take this away from it, right?
Yes.
But you got to put yourself in his situation.
Because you end up talking to Detective Glory Holman.
Yeah, Glory Holman. That's his name.
He got busy cleaning the glory holes, and he's like, "Oh,
he did.
Oh, it's time to go convict someone." I mean, look at
it took 5 years.
Look at the pictures of him. I'm sure he likes and enjoys a good bowl.
It took freaking 5 years for them to decide to go after him.
Mm-hmm.
And funnily enough, the sheriff was up for re-election at that time.
Mm-hmm. And then they lost all the other evidence. Oops, we missed all these things.
Oops. Yeah.
So, World's End, it says, it's understandable somebody's motivated to exclude themselves. Yes. But you also need to understand people are motivated to include you.
Yeah.
They had no leads. They were desperate.
I mean, yeah, it's human nature to want to be helpful and...
Yeah, you want to be helpful. You want to be helpful for people who will lie, who if they... And here's the thing. If they decide I've said this before, if they decide you're the bad man, you are now the bad man. And they will not be convinced otherwise. I guarantee you right now, even if Richard Allen gets not guilty, Holman's going to be like, I still think it's him.
Yeah.
Of course.
And that's going to... The problem is, until somebody like confesses to it, I still think it's him. And the sad part is, if Richard Allen gets not guilty, these girls will never get justice because of all this nonsense.
It's all over.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
it's all over.
Yeah. So that's what I'm just saying. You never talk to the cops. Sorry, Chad. Out there.
You're absolutely of course. We know you're right. What I was going to say was that the tip line came out. People in the community were scared. He knew he was there that day, and he thought they're asking for anyone that was there that day.
Yeah, but still. People were scared.
He thought he was doing the right thing.
Yeah.
He thought he was doing the right thing.
And now, once again, it's like that demotivational poster of that sunken ship.
Mm-hmm.
As people's misfortunes are examples for the rest of you.
Yeah.
And maybe Richard Allen dies in prison, so you guys learn a lesson. Don't talk to the cops.
Yep.
I hate to use that. Hopefully he doesn't.
No. But... Exactly.
Yeah.
So Cajun something dog says.
Thank you, Mark. You're absolutely right. Don't forget the crazy YouTuber making videos talking about beaming the Delphi Memorial Park. Also, those
Who
two.
Who did that?
Yeah. Also, the two YTers banned from the courthouse for fighting outside the courthouse. It's all about them when it should be about the girls.
Okay.
Well, right now it's about
Political
Richard
Grey
Allen.
says, when were YouTubers fighting outside the courthouse? Who were they? Hopefully they aren't in the courtroom now.
Okay, because
Andrew was boxing Nancy Grace.
I do actually have this.
There was some nonsense of like YouTubers acting like morons out there.
Of course.
I do have it. 2 Delphi murders content creators permanently banned from case proceedings after heated argument. It was Delphi After Dark, Richard Snay, and David No, who is creator of No Amos. That's a really tiny channel. That's like got 250 subscribers. But yeah, Richard Snay. Delphi After Dark is a well-known channel.
Delphi After Dark sounds like a porn thing, though.
It does a little bit, doesn't it? Yeah. But yeah, violated the rules outlined in an order handed down by Allen Superior Court Judge Frank. The special judge assigned to the case according to the new order issued by Judge Wednesday. Gull said the men violated part of the order that states members of the public are ordered to conduct themselves in such a fashion as to limit disruption to the officers. That's fair. One of her fair rulings. Very strange. Snay and No were engaged in a heated conversation on the main floor of the courthouse and were told by security to be civil and leave the building. According to the judge's latest order, after the men left the courthouse, the argument continued on the side of the courthouse closest to Berry Street. Okay. Oh, this is funny. A 21 Alive news crew witnessed the argument and saw the men get close to each other's faces while yelling. Snay could be heard telling No. Snay and
Aaron
No.
could be heard telling, or Nick could be heard telling Aaron not to talk about his wife.
Not to talk about his wife, something that appeared to be a long-standing issue in YouTube videos dating back several months, and they've even linked out to the drama. What the hell?
Why are we also degenerate?
This is so stupid. Yeah, okay. Back to this. God.
Travion.
All this could have been prevented if Andrea had just shown her feet on street. Stop it. And Dina. Dina. FMM 2.0 in the house. Gifting 10 Excited Utterance memberships. You are awesome.
Thank you.
You are awesome. Thank you so much. And welcome new members. Make sure you click through to the membership tab and go through to the Discord. It's right there. Love you so much. Good to see you. Hope you're doing good. Dina, haven't seen you around much. Must be super busy.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's keep going. Enough, Nancy. Had enough. Now, DB is my new hero. After the big felting of Coffindaffer last week, he's my new hero.
What happened? What happened to Coffin Doper?
Okay, so he planted, he put on Twitter 10 Google searches by Richard Allen, which were obviously not real. And
he gay up to Glowy. That's awesome.
Yeah, he did. And she picked up on it and decided to include it in her YouTube live and analyze them. It was hilarious. It was too funny. So yeah, she got felted big time.
Bravo.
It was great.
Bravo. Gay ops generally, I don't condone them, chat. But if you're gonna gay op a Fed, I mean, who better? Who better?
It was up there in the Coffindaffer Hall of Fame. That was almost better than the time that she got caught on that CCTV outside
running from the house.
Fairview Lane. Yeah, it was almost better than that. All right, so DB's a bit of a legend. DB says,
"Hey, Newsy Barbara, will you send me the media pool notes?"
"Oh, can you give him the full dramatic reading? He likes it."
"Hey, Newsy Barbara, will you send me the media pool notes? I'm sure other YTers like Defense Diaries, A. Burkhart Law, and especially RM Productions X would love to have them. If it's too much, maybe gray hues. Can you send them along to us? Thank you. BRB jumping out of a plane."
Cool. All right, now if you don't know who Gray Hughes is, probably best you stay that way. You know how you were talking about that fig dude a minute ago? Yeah, so he's kind of like
Is he another
that.
gentleman with a low T cell count?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's just say that he sits around trying to debunk anyone who says that either Brian Koberger or Richard Allen is not guilty. And he does it with maps and 3D programs and stuff like that. And then he abuses anybody in chat who not even disagrees with his ideas, but just won't send him money. So here's an example. He didn't go to the trial. And so he's relying on what I didn't know there was such a thing as pool notes, but apparently there's pool notes from some journalists. I don't know who they are, but here he is getting a bit angry about it. Now there is a YouTube channel now called YouTube Bad Actors, and it's hilarious. And you should go there. YouTube Bad Actors is pretty much all Grey Hughes and maybe a couple of other people. And it's a bit like Alyssa Clips, but for these people.
What's funny about that, Pete Chosen? I mean, what a stupid observation.
Hey, no, LOL, Gray's reading notes, making the best of what he got.
Yeah, of course I'm reading notes. I'm not there, you fool. Jesus, I'm not there. So yes, I have to have notes, right? I gotta get notes from, I have the pool notes, you know, the ones from that the reporters are taking, okay? That's probably better notes than I would be able to take. But if I was there, I'd be able to think and look at it and see something. Where do these people come from? You know? And where are the mods when you see something like that?
He's talking about people who just gave him money.
He needs to like actually talk into the mic.
Well, there's that too.
It sounds like he's talking like this right now, and I'm like, bro, hold on. Actually, sounds like on top of this, he's like, it's talking like this right now. Like, buddy, you have a good mic, so you can't tell me that the audio's the issue here.
Yeah. He's a very strange person. Like, I went into his chat and, like, you know how you get a little bubble come up? Sometimes it tells you how to behave.
Yeah.
It said that any trolling will be immediately banned. And it's like, so I asked a question. I said, so is having a difference of opinion considered trolling? And the mods immediately asked me, what is your difference of opinion? And I said, well, for example, Richard Allen never said that he was wearing the same coloured jacket as Bridge Guy. He said he had a dark coloured jacket. He didn't say it was definitely blue. And Gray immediately said to me, no, it was the same coloured jacket. What are you talking about? And he had a real go at me. And then, like, the mod started to threaten to time me out. I'm like, right, I get the idea. I started to get the idea immediately. It's like, right, okay, that's trolling. I see. I think that might have been a good day over on that channel. So if you don't agree with them, they attack you. Agree with them, they attack you and block you. Yeah. Nicola, hi. If you like real men and not the trans type, sub to Dali Talk.
Oh, that's one of the nicest things anyone's ever said to me.
How cute. Most toxic echo chamber, Gary Pubes, Dutch oven. Well, I had to go and check out what it was because I could see people were talking about this grey thing. And I was like, okay. I just wanted to see what it was. All right, so Mandy B says, I enjoy YouTube Bad Actors immensely abusive. Sorry, go on.
No, I'm just, you know, and I'm not saying this because I'm not trying to say this to get a dig at you guys, but like this Gray guy, like, is he just some Yahoo?
No. Well, he's got a lot of subscribers.
Well, that doesn't mean anything, but like, what's he do? What's his knowledge? Like, what is he?
Good question.
I mean, does he drive the dildo truck? Like, what is he? Like, what's he do for a living? Like, and then does he have legal people come on? You know, does he like have any legal understandings of things or? Oh, okay. So he's just some guy talking.
Most of these people don't, right? But his claim to fame is he does these reconstructions, right? So he does these things where he sort of like with Brian Koberger, he made a reconstruction of the house and he showed how BK could have walked through it and done the murders in that period of time, right? So because he can do these 3D models and stuff, right? So people love that. And yeah, and so he can prove that the perpetrator can do the crimes by doing these reconstructions.
Does he have any experience in like violence and like criminal like reconstruction? Like that's all just, oh my God.
Oh, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit, but people love it because it's all like pretty graphics and stuff. Yeah. So People love all the pretty graphics, and
Yes. Well, yeah. So it looks flashy and dashy.
it looks flashy. Yeah.
Oh.
Exactly. And so like the latest thing is he's got this sort of overview of where the bridge is and like this map, and he's showing where Richard Allen is and where the girls are and how Richard couldn't possibly have not been there.
Okay, see, now I will give him credit if he did that, but Andrea already did that, but Andrea lives there. He drove Koberger's route and got a speeding ticket. That's funny.
That's
Which means
funny.
there's video of it.
Yeah. And body cam.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He's got this super 3D bridge thing. Yeah, he's the one who made the reconstruction of the bridge, showing with little avatars of the girls, and so you can actually like look around it. No. But yeah, you can. And he did this before Richard Allen was arrested, and it was to sort of supposedly jog people's memories, and you can sort of you can look around it. And
is he an Odinist? How does he feel about Odin's spear?
I think he thinks that's all bullshit, and everyone should stop talking about it because it was Richard Allen.
So he wants to cover up Odin's spear. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's where Murdoch warps space-time to clean up the crime scene. Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah. It's interesting. It's just like there's always people like this that show up, and they find their little niche, and he's done pretty well out of it. Like
good to see you,
his
Johnny.
channel's doing all right, but I mean his channel's not doing as well as Andrea's obviously right now.
Well,
Lauren says, tune in to Gray for your daily dose of emotional abuse. Wow. He does get really angry. He gets really angry. Damn, Grayford, don't stroke the fuck out, please. And there's Girl Friday saying, Gray Hughes while playing with Photoshop. I am once again asking for your financial support. Can you do it?
I am once again asking for your financial support. That's JFK.
And hello, Evie. Thank you for becoming a YouTube member. That's so nice of you. Welcome. Welcome aboard into the crew. So good to have you. Lovely. He called Andrea Burkhart dipshit. Right, that's it. That's it. It's on. It's on. We're going after him. We are going after him. Done. Done. We don't like him. Well, we didn't like him, but we definitely don't like him now. All right. Cerulean Moose. Would you like to read this, please?
Like yesterday, the photos were leaked by a pro-guilty douche, and now I have confirmation that Lauren was wrong. Wrong again. There were tons of leaves around, and they would have worked better for concealment. Hidden true crime, like I am done with your non-tent. Content, more like non-tent.
Non-tent. All right, so here's a transcript of, this is Lauren from Hidden True Crime. If you don't know who Lauren is, Sean, are you aware of Hidden True Crime? Sean?
what's that?
Are you aware of Lauren from Hidden True Crime? You know this lady?
Yeah. Oh, I've seen her face. I didn't know that's what her name was.
Okay, so this is Lauren. Hidden True Crime is her channel. Her and her husband, who is a forensic psychologist, I believe.
Okay.
They have their channel together. Big channel, 350,000 or so subs. And she is at the courthouse with somebody else, I believe, who's helping her take notes. So, and she's been like they're lining up each day and doing lunchtime lives and some lives at nighttime as well. Now, the thing with Lauren is she's wavering between whether he's guilty or not guilty. So she's sort of,
She's losing faith. Her faith is not strong.
Her faith is not strong. So, and that's, when you sit on the fence, I think you're always going to alienate some of your audience. But I've nothing really to say about her or her channel because, I mean, it's just not one that I follow. But let's just read out this transcript here and see what people have to say. So Transcript says, do you want to read it, Dolly?
Sure. Like, I see, and I guess I have to use my own opinion here. I'm not seeing anything that looks ritualistic at all. Like, I'm seeing somebody trying to perhaps like hide the bodies or camouflage the bodies and sort of cover them so they're not too obvious, because they were laid in a floodplain, like near the creek. You could see the creek. It was a creek, and it was sort of a flat area. So if it did help to sort of hide them, the branches and twigs there, and the twigs and berries.
Twigs and berries. That's so funny.
Okay, so she's talking about the twigs and things being able to hide the bodies. I unfortunately have seen some of the crime scene photos.
Is she the one who leaked them?
No.
Someone did,
No.
didn't they?
I know.
That was a former employee of Alan's attorney.
No. I thought since then, like when stuff came out,
just the other day there was a leak. Just the other day they were put on Twitter.
Yeah, just another day somebody put a bunch of shit up too. That's what I thought. So.
Yeah, they were on Twitter just like 2-3 days ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, they did the rounds. They were all over the place the other day. Yeah. So Hella has been suppressing Dali's reading speech. Yeah. So no, it wasn't her. I'm sure she wouldn't do something like that. But was it Andrea who pointed out that if they wanted to hide the bodies, they could have used the leaves and not twigs? Yeah, as I said, like I've seen the crime scene photos, and it does not look like any attempt to hide them to me.
No.
So
not at all.
No, that doesn't hold
so
up.
Whatever the reason, it wasn't to hide them.
I wouldn't think so. That's just my opinion. Anyway, let's see what C Swept has to say. C Swept, hey, how's it going, C?
Nothing, A, about the placement of those twigs was haphazard. A, Brad Holder had a stash of twigs in his garage and was making runes of them in the wilderness all that month. Trudeau is grody. A, the pictures are floating around the net. Imagine being a journey and coming out to face all you've been misled about.
Okay, so if anyone doesn't realize, C Swept is Canadian, and that is Dali's attempt at C Swept's voice.
Yeah,
I know her very well.
I need to practice my Canadian.
Yeah.
You need to listen to Uncle more.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. And hey, C, she always watches on replay and has a little giggle. All right. So, and then Yellow Jacket. Yellow Jacket says, that's preposterous. As somebody who has walked through those woods in the wintertime, it's ridiculously thick bed of leaves, to the point where I kept having to pick up my feet and shake them off because it looked like I was wearing snowshoes made out of leaves. Per the state's own crime scene analyst, 3% of bodies covered by sticks, and that's being generous. People who say this is concealment are so disingenuous. All right. There you go. You can do Seathwaite's voice again.
Well, I guess we are to believe that the super stealth man who allegedly achieved a completely evidenceless and DNA-less crime without a sound under everyone's noses in a handful of minutes is complete shite at hiding things. Didn't even have any maple syrup.
No. It's one of these situations where the lack of evidence is evidence.
Yeah.
Right?
I thought that was very interesting. Where they're like, well, the bodies were moved around. And I'm like, well, were the drag marks? No. Like, what the?
So then the bodies were like resting on him?
Yeah. And the idea of, Richard Allen just hossing these kids around like that. It's not like carrying a dead body is not easy.
God.
No.
Dead weight is really hard.
And you would know.
Yeah.
I've carried my dad's dog who was German Shepherd, 85 pounds, died. I had to move that dog to the car from the other side of the house and then lift it up.
Yeah. Well,
that took I needed help to even lift the dog up into the
Yeah,
car.
like firefighters when they do their train, they have like the mannequins. Like those things are hard to use, and it's
yeah.
I was about to say one of those girls looked to be fairly difficult for him. So
yeah, okay, yeah,
I didn't want to
she was 200
say
pounds.
it, but yeah.
Now we're gonna get in trouble for body shaming the girls.
No, but
you called him fat.
No, see, I mean, but she wasn't small, and
Hella, why are you're doubling down?
No, we're just talking about the facts that
dear Sean,
you can't easily move a body like that, and that's kind of goes back to the Zachariah Anderson case, where like he supposedly moved a grown adult out by himself. It makes no sense.
But you need to remember, Richard Allen is young and muscular.
Yes, and very suave.
Suave, and that heart condition is just nothing. All right, let's keep going. Alrighty, now Magnolia. Now we're gonna talk about Brad Holder. Those of you who don't know who Brad Holder is, he is the father of the 18-year-old boy who was dating Abby at the time.
She was 14?
He does 13 or 14, Abby, at the
13,
time.
Okay, I was trying to give him a little credit, but
so now
nothing creepy.
This is so sus, this whole Brad Holder thing, and people who like to brush all this off go, oh well, he was fully investigated. Yeah, right. So Magnolia says,
a lot of people keep asking, who is Brad Holder? Well, he's the father of Abby's boyfriend, Logan Holder. He's also a self-proclaimed ODNist, but the defense is not allowed to talk about any of this. Brad and Logan were interviewed early on, but just forget about that because those interviews are missing. And that's apparently none of our business. Anyways, this is him. Bridge Guy is on the right for your convenience.
For your convenience, there you go. Now, I'm not too sure about this because I think that Brad Holder had a full beard at the actual time, but he also is in a group, right? So he's got a bunch of mates who all kind of look similar to him. And I mean really similar. Like they all kind of wear these hats and they're all bulky like him, and they all have like either goatees or beards, and they're all part of this odinist kind of group. So any of them could be Bridge Guy. And I tend to think also that voice, that down the hill voice, is coming from behind the camera. It's not coming from that guy who's walking towards the camera. That's just my opinion, but I feel like the figure is too far away to be saying those words. I don't know if anyone feels that way too. But anyway, so that's the first photo of Brad Holder. And then the other thing to really consider about Brad Holder is he's a Masonic brother to prosecutor Nick McClellan.
And you know who runs the Masons. Parentheses.
Who?
Dun, dun, dun. You know
the Odinists?
No.
Who
the
holds
Odin.
back
I'm talking about the people who really run things.
Who holds back the electric car?
Well, yes.
We do.
Well, yes, but these we do's are, Oh no! Like so the Mossad's probably involved actually in this one. Chat. This is really bad. Richard Allen versus the Mossad is not going to end well.
So what comes first, the Masons or the Odinists?
Well, I would assume the Masons are above them, but then they've got their Jewish handlers above them. So the Masons don't want nothing.
A star.
Yes, the Stonecutters. Yeah, well, they were better when they started No Homer.
Sorry, that's an obscure Simpsons reference, but
Yes. Who controls the British crown? Who keeps the metric system down?
System down, yes. Who keeps the Martians under wraps? So it's over, chat.
It is. Shut it down.
I disavow all of this. I have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, he does not understand Simpsons references. We should really sack him.
Carrie Lake can't save you.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
You're in trouble.
Don't bring that up, please.
Hey, DB in chat, dude, mate. I was telling Mr. Potentially Criminal about you and your coffin duffer felting. MVP in chat right here. How are you? I heard Richard Allen.
You get an 07 from me, sir.
Oh, dude.
Trolling a glowy is never bad.
Trolling glowies all over the place. I heard Richard Allen was working on a contract to be assigned a Mossad handler.
To disrupt some of the Masons' agenda here.
What?
That's a joke.
Perfect.
Dude. You're awesome. Ah, you're a big fan. Very cool. Very cool. Well, actually, later in the stream, couple of slides down, we're going to have a look at, the Judy Ron video that you made that awesome comment on. We're going to have a look at that. So anyway, that's about the tool mark evidence. Bullshit. Okay, so yes, Nick McClelland, if you're not aware, is the prosecutor in the case, and he is Masonic brothers with Brad Holder, he should be suspect number one, but he's not. Now, Brad Holder, his Facebook page, he also goes by the name Steve Rogers. Who knows why? But anyway, these are all things from Brad Holder's Facebook page. Do you recognize any of these odd drawings? Who puts this shit on their Facebook page?
Yeah. It's very weird. It's very weird, but nah. Glory hole, man. Like I said, man, you do enough of that glory hole stuff, your eyes get crusty and you get vision gets blurry. You kind of just, he's just, I decided Richard Allen did it.
Yeah, there's nothing strange.
That's interesting because, it's like, how would anybody have known the girls were naked?
No. There's more of Brad Holder. There he is. Look at him there.
Oh, that's not at all
that face is hidden. That face has took its own spear to it a couple times. True veteran. Look at him. A brave warrior.
He loves a bit of spear. Yeah. Then there's a little picture up there. Hope he's doing okay. Everyone is in my thoughts. After all that's happened there, why did you take him? Did he know the girls? I sure hope Logan is okay. After all that's happened there, why did you take him? Did he know the girls? All my brothers out there, bro code, bromance, sex toys, gun porn. I don't even know that word. Tribe maters, got your six.
What are you looking at?
These.
Oh, okay.
Got your 6, got your back.
No, yeah. I
okay.
wasn't sure what she was.
Because it's like your 6 o'clock position.
Yeah.
Okay. Now.
It's something Maverick would say if you were flying with him. He's got your 6.
Yes.
Until he flies off and starts, trying to hold Goose's dog tags and he gets shot up. So.
Captain America is Steve Rogers. Marvel Redditor.
Oh, I'm sure he's a Redditor on top. Oh, God, if he's a Redditor on top of being an Odinist, that would just be like... So that means he killed those girls with cringe.
Well, does he have a Tumblr
Not a knife.
too?
Yeah.
All right. Now, Adam Malone, he's been trolling. He's been on Twitter trolling. He's been actually screenshotting my tweets and then going, "Oh, these people, they love Koberger and they love Richard Allen." I'm like, "Yeah, thanks for sharing my streams.
Twitter.
That's nice of you. Anyway, Adam Alone says,
You can tell from the photos they're not the same. Thumbs up.
okay, you can.
I feel like I can, yes. Brad's waistline is sensual. Wouldn't allow his hands on his pockets like that. His pants are too low.
He has a
Low
gut.
rider. Because his gut is too big. Did you know
Okay.
super chats are now tax free? Brad is a local troll who heard about it and is wanting attention because he knows he's innocent and he's a doucher troll.
What the hell? Okay, so his theory is that Brad's a troll and he's putting this stuff on his Facebook because he wants attention. What? Like, this was all put up on his Facebook around the time of the killings, right? And there was no one arrested then. So what? He's like hoping that he would get attention and the cops would like not pick him up. They just think he was a troll. That makes sense.
Well, it worked.
Yeah. You loony. Sally Turner said, wouldn't Abby know who he was? Yes. Magnolia says.
Yes. Brad Holder met Abby at least 2 to 3 times. He initially told investigators he never met her, but over time he did admit to meeting her a few times.
Yeah. Right. So he lied and said that he didn't know her. They never met. But of course they met. Like, or more than likely. Like, the son was dating. Yeah.
You're kidding.
Oh, yeah. Hang on, I got this. Holder's alibi was solid. Do some research.
Oh, really? Was it? Because if that were true, then why were the 3 lead detectives on the Delphi case investigating BH and the others for years up until one of the dicks was murdered in July 2021? And why did another of those detectives, Todd Click, testify to the Odinist theory for the defense just last year?
It's almost like I can hear Ethan Ralph creeping into your reading of it.
Okay, so I think just Dali said something about a dick on the Delphi case.
Slang
It's
for
actually,
detective.
but all right, but I think it's kind of important we mentioned that one of the detectives was murdered in July 2021. What? The circumstances of that I would really like to know. So Gregory Forensi. So that was. So let's just read this again. So 3 lead detectives on the Delphi case investigating Brad Holder and the others for years up until one of the detectives was murdered in July 2021. That one. So I would really like to know what that's all about. Do you know anything about that, Sean?
Don't know it. I never heard this.
Yeah, okay. I'll be looking into that one. But the other thing is, there were some other detectives who never bought into the whole Richard Allen thing, right? One of them was Todd Click. Now, he hasn't been able to testify, partially because of this whole thing with the third-party culprit can't come in. But isn't he under investigation? Isn't that part of the reason? Todd Click?
I think so. Yeah, he was the one that was arrested.
He's arrested. That's right. Yeah, Taryn Dusty. Thank you. Yeah, and so we've got Greg Forensi, who's been murdered. We have Todd Click, who's been arrested. There's all these people who could have provided testimony for the defense, and they just aren't available for whatever reason. Isn't that convenient for Judge Gull and the prosecution? I'm going to look into this one. This one really bothers me. So it's almost like a Boeing situation. Joni says, I'm sorry, what? How in the hell was Brad Holder, an Odinist and acquaintance of Abby's, painting which coincides with how Abby's body was found, not allowed in? This is my first
Wait,
time
was she
seeing
found hanging
it.
from a tree?
No, she wasn't.
Okay.
But we'll talk about this
I'm
in a
so
minute.
confused.
So, found was not allowed in. This is the first time seeing it, and wow, what are the odds? Now, before we go into this, because people are like, no, she wasn't found hanging. No, she wasn't. However, she was found in a similar position. So, if you can have a look over here, see the leg over. But the hanging's important because she was lacking blood, right? And the way the fluids were found to be like the marks on her body were found to be left. They were going that way, right? So it suggested an inversion. So there's no way that she could have not been inverted. She would have had to have been hung upside down at some point in time. DB. The killer's name is Shane Meehan. He worked at BOP Corrections Officer, but left due to PTSD. He's still not had a trial yet. Okay, thank you. What is his... Sorry. Yeah, okay. So that's why this whole thing with the hanging is important, because we're pretty sure that Abby, because that was Abby, because she had the antlers, and she was also the one who was redressed. So she was the one who she had a lack of blood, and there was also a lack of blood of hers at the scene as well. So it would have had to have happened somewhere else.
Or they
Right,
took
they
the blood
would've-
and put it in a bucket.
Maybe, but it would have had to have happened somewhere else, right? Because
No,
there was
because
no,
if I hang you upside down and slit you and it all goes in a bucket, we could have done it right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and taking the bucket away. Yeah, okay, that makes sense, right? But she could have been hung upside down like that, which would make sense because that all of the trails went that way, and then laid down in this position, like so, the hanged man. So Adam Malone says,
because despite his grasp at attention, he was at work at the time, and it's actually impossible for it to be him. I'm asking, since this from a sincere place, he was at work the entire day from 12:30 on the 13th until 7 a.m. on whatever time the girls were found on the 14th. I don't know the answer. We can't trust anything. We can't trust anything in this investigation. LE has deleted many of the early interviews and are putting chemicals in the water.
that's actually true. So those early interviews just disappeared. Strange.
Cause Ghoul has Odin tats on her underboobs? Where else does a lady hide them if not there? No one can convince me she's not in on it. She's doing way too much to protect the Brotherhood.
It does feel that way. It does feel that way. Now, the thing with his Brad Holder's alibi is maybe he was at work, but who says that that's actually their time of death?
Yeah.
They weren't found until the next day. So we know when they went missing, for sure. But also, as far as the autopsy is concerned, there was never any definitive time of death because, as far as the contents of the stomach, there was nothing said about, for sure, the contents of the stomach says that it was digested at this time. They didn't pinpoint it, so they could have died a bit later. Who really knows? And if there were more people involved, especially if it was if it was a ritual killing, there could have been other people who took them, and then this whole hanging thing happened later. Who knows? Who knows, really? Shaboogie says,
it makes no sense for anyone to randomly defend an alleged child murderer. People are defending Ra's innocence for a reason. Open your eyes, child. Take your confirmation bias out to lunch. Check, please.
check please. I agree with the first sentence. I am not saying RA is guilty, but if he is found not guilty, it's completely possible a child murderer will walk free. Celebrating in that scenario is honestly disgusting.
Oh. Because they were misled and fed ghoul shit. Information from carnival workers, I agree.
Carnival workers.
What carnival workers?
Yeah. There's no carnies in this one.
That's not,
If
yeah,
only.
that's a different case.
It's always the carnies. Is rating comprehension a thing? I'm saying I believe he's innocent.
Lamo.
Is delusion a thing or nah?
Okay.
Yeah,
Carl says,
these are people in their 40s and 50s, and they sound like freaking 12-year-olds. Or
yeah, I know, right?
Nah.
Nah. So I guess this means you believe psychosis makes you become psychic and know of a white van when only the killer would have known about it. Oh my god, the van thing. Oh, the van thing. Okay, so Shaboogie says...
Boogie? Shows you have no knowledge because this van has been discussed from the beginning. This is one example prior to Trill from Walla's favorite YouTuber.
Right, so, Walla, dear me, this woman, if she is not the straw that breaks the prosecution's case, I don't know what the hell is. Dear me, the psychologist who was in all of the YouTube chats, all of the Facebook chats, and had all of the information and had Becky Hillitis, wanted to be a big star, and was also right there with Richard Allen when he was being drugged with Haldol, and she thought he was feigning, having great old chats with him, could have been telling him anything. Completely unprofessional.
But she's a doctor and an expert.
Yeah, well, she's got a PhD. She's not a medical doctor. And she's, yeah, and she acted like a teenager, really. So Carbon says, are you going to report that Gray Hughes was being fed information about Richard Allen medical records? He commented this in March 2024. Now, remember Gray Hughes? Well, he's come up in this case. Several times, actually. But he's come up, and there he is. Gray Hughes investigates. Well, when Brad Weber drove home that day, he was seen by Richard Allen. You will find that out someday. Granny G says, so if no one knew about Weber's van except the killer, how did Gray know? Well, Gray's known for years.
Yeah.
Lots of people have known for years. Did you know about this?
Me? I didn't know.
No. Well, it's been in, like, if you dare to go on Reddit and look back several years, you'll see people talking about the van.
Phil's right. Seth Kenny had a white van too.
Yes.
Yes, Seth Kenny had a white van. And you know what, also? Richard Allen never actually even said white. He just said a van.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing with the van is ridiculous. Seth Kenny's responsible for a lot of things. Really. I mean,
He did this.
we should charge him with more stuff.
Charge him with anything.
Anything. All right, so Duty Ron, here we go. Here we go, chat. So, here's your mate, Darlie.
boy. Oh boy.
The toolmark evidence. Let's watch.
While we await the verdict in the Delphi case, let's take a minute to have Ed Wallace weigh in on a key forensic question raised by the defense.
The jury also today heard from one of the defense witnesses who is an expert in ballistics technology. He says that when the bullet, the unspent bullet, was found at the crime scene, was taken to the Indiana State Police crime line.
Isn't Duty Ron, isn't he like pro Kieran Reed though? Because he's involved in that one too, isn't he?
Is he? I don't really know. I haven't been following him, but he may.
Okay, because I'm sure I've seen him somewhere else. The name's familiar to me.
He weighs in on the Wade Wilson stuff. I know that.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
But he plays both sides, E-Man says. Yeah, he's pro Karen. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's keep going. Judy Ron.
Lab, and they couldn't get the results matching that bullet with Richard Allen's gun, so they changed the rules. They then, instead of injecting the bullet out of the gun, they fired the gun, which didn't happen that day by the creek, but in the lab they fired the gun. That's how they got the results matching the bullet to the gun. He says just by simply firing that gun, you're doing an apples to oranges comparison, and that's why the comparison, the defense hopes, that proves that Richard Allen's gun was at the crime scene is negated.
I disagree with the defense expert. It would be more accurate to say it's an apples to more detailed apple, comparing the ejector and extractor tool marks on a live cartridge cycled in an in and out of the chamber and then ejected from the suspect handgun to a cartridge that was cycled and ejected from this handgun after it was fired as being an apples to oranges comparison. It would be more accurate to say it's an apples to more detailed apple comparison. The state's ballistic tool mark expert was unable to replicate comparison quality tool marks similar to those found on the suspect cartridge by hand cycling live test cartridge. This is because she was missing at least two variables, if not more, and they are the speed and energy of the movement of the slide during the manual cycling of the suspect cartridge. In my opinion, she should have designed tests that allow the suspect's firearms slide.
That's not true.
That's not true.
Cycled and
that wouldn't matter because if it's a whole cartridge,
whereby the speed and energy.
If that's a whole cartridge, the slide's not flying back at speed.
Yep.
An entire cartridge gets ejected through manual operation of the slide. So you have to manipulate. God, I wish we could touch guns on this show. On YouTube. But like, God, if you're manipulating the slide, like a full cartridge never gets ejected from the gun unless you do it. Which means you have to manually operate it. So the idea that it's like, pow, and it's like it's bing, and it shoots out a... No, it was a full cartridge. It wasn't a spent casing. God, cops and guns.
Yeah, let's keep going.
It can be regulated, varied, and documented. You conduct these tests until you're able to leave similar tool marks on the test cartridges as those found on the suspect cartridges, and then you conduct your microscopic examinations, documentation, and comparison. At this point, you've identified and documented the possible aforementioned variables, and you should repeat these experiments utilizing the identified variables and confirm your comparison result. With all that said, it doesn't mean her comparison results are not accurate or true. Her work was peer-reviewed, and her comparison results were validated. The defense expert never looked at the suspect cartridge and the test-fired cartridges under the microscope. He also never tried to replicate her work with the suspect firearm, suspect cartridge, and the test-fired cartridges. He just looked at comparison photos and complained about her documentation methods. He also said the state's expert should have used a specific comparison technique that he prefers. Defense never once said her comparison conclusions were wrong. When asked why he didn't perform his own testing or microscopic comparisons, he stated he wasn't asked to by the defense attorneys.
Burden
I take issue with that. As a forensic subject matter expert, when discussing contracting work for a prosecutor or defense attorney, I explain to them what I can and cannot do. In addition, I tell them based on the facts what testing and examinations are normally done and what I prefer to do. And I make sure everything agreed upon is specifically detailed in my contract of service. There are only 3 possible findings of cartridge casing tool mark examination. Matching results, when the microscopic markings on a cartridge case from a crime scene closely match the markings on a test-fired cartridge
never
case
say match,
from a
it's
suspect
consistent.
firearm. It indicates a strong possibility that the crime scene cartridge was fired from that firearm. Non-matching results, if the markings on the cartridge case do not significantly match the markings from the test-fired cartridge, it indicates that the cartridge was likely fired from a different firearm. Sometimes the quality of the markings on the cartridge case may be poor due to damage, wear, or manufacturing variation, leading to an inconclusive result where a definitive match cannot be made. From what I hear from the reported testimony, no witnesses have testified that her conclusions were wrong.
Okay.
You said they weren't consistent.
That was a load of horseshit, right?
They weren't consistent, ultimately. It's what I heard the experts say.
Okay, so I really wanted to play that for you.
He's busy talking about the spent casings and fired bullets and all that. And if you guys ever watched that, The Rescuers or whatever movie it is with the mouse, where it's the Sherlock Holmes mouse, and he's sitting there turning the bullets together. Yeah, that's the science of forensic tool mark examination. Well, they kind of look the same.
They kind of look the same, and it wasn't even she fired it, right?
Yeah, which isn't what happened.
That's not what happened.
If he's saying you don't get the same markings, yes, the slide and extracting at speed, it doesn't no, it was a spent round. It was an ejected cartridge, an ejected round of ammunition, meaning it was never fired, so firing is irrelevant.
Yeah. And then to go and say, and the prosecution said this, to go and say, well, the defense could have tested it. That's shifting the burden.
Well, did the prosecution bring that up?
Yeah.
Oh, that shouldn't have been allowed. Did they object to that?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, DB, I'm going to bring up your comment because I didn't realize you'd be here. And since you're here, your comment was excellent, so I'm going to bring yours up. Hang on a minute. Share this tab instead.
One of the worst things to have somebody explain firearms to you as a police officer.
Yeah. Okay. So, Darlie, do you want to read this?
I'm quite sure you're not AFTE certified, or you failed to research their method or identification. There are some major issues with the way you characterize the analysis here. 1. Dr. Eric Warren, who's a board member for the AFTE, testified Melissa Oberg's conclusion were wrong. 2. The defense expert doesn't need to look at the
No pressure.
Doesn't need to look at the unspent round or the shell casing under a microscope. The AFTE qualifies and reviews the examiner's performance annually by conducting benchtop or black box studies. They receive an image of the evidence and must determine whether or not there's an identification. 3. Dr. Warren would never conduct an experiment that would require firing the gun. The AFTE distinguishes the difference between the tool marks left on an unspent round to a shell cases due to the process of obturation. When round is fired, the pressure and heat from the ignition of the propelled cause the brass to expand in the chamber, which leaves a much more significant mark on the soft brass from the extractor.
It does.
Since this method creates different results, it's outside of the theory of identification used by the AFTE. Before I get to 4, because the shell casing is crimped on.
Well, it's not even that. It's just brass is soft, and brass is used as a pressure seal. And there's a way where if you make a new caliber, meaning basically a new cartridge casing design, you can cut the chamber, and then you could take a cartridge that's kind of close, and you shove it in the gun, and you fire it. It's called fire forming. So you can make a whole new. The brass is that malleable You can make a brand new casing.
So you can change caliber sizes?
Well, hold on here. Do we have a whiteboard or something I could draw on to explain it? Something I can draw here. Hold on, let me see. Hold on, let me see.
You can present to screen. You've got your own.
Yeah, I forgot I can do that.
Yep.
All right, hold on here.
And I'll read for while you do that. Melissa Oberg did not make a match using the actual striated markings on the round or shell casings. She used the sufficient agreement standard. This is when the examiner concludes there is not enough consecutive matches striae to match a CMS identification. So they believe in their subjective opinion. It's a match. Identical. That's why they never entered the photos of the round and shell casing into the court record. They don't want the jury to see they don't match.
Okay.
Oh, hang on.
Here.
So if there's no matching markings, how do you just disprove her opinion? She cycled 6 unspent rounds.
Ooh.
Kinky. None matched, lol. She disproved her opinion 6 times. When conducting an experiment, you never set out to make an identification and test the subject firearm as many times as you need to make an identification. That's quite literally not scientific.
Not scientific. Lol.
All right. Hold on here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dali. And awesome comment there from DB.
Yes.
Awesome comment. 5 replies. Felted by DB by Excited Utterance. This explanation is everything by Serenity Meow. RM Productions. What he said. 100% by Small. TC Audit. Thank you. Number 5 seems spot on in my logical mind. Felted.
Nerd.
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 TP. Oh my god. Good use of your time.
I took a
That's
great
the
shit
full
while I
of
wrote
people
that
who never
comment.
got beaten up as a kid.
What?
You know, it's because you guys never got beaten up enough as a kid.
Yeah.
Oh. It was very good. All right, so we'll go back to here, and I've got some other comments. Oops. Where is it? Where did my thing go? Oh, this time it was dead. All right, so Iara Pimenta said...
Guilty as hell. But he'll probably walk free. Anyhow, guilt will get him down the road. Right. Yeah, like Karma
okay.
got all those German soldiers in World War II who had a nice long life in South America.
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure. The defense didn't have the funds for unlimited expert opinions. Ghoul made it as difficult as possible, which is true. Wasn't Alan the one who had to crowdfund?
Yep.
Yeah, he was the one. Yeah, he had to actually have people of the public crowdfund, like GoFundMe. To
He raised like almost 50K.
Yeah. Which is impressive. And really pathetic that it had to come to that. If the state could not replicate the bullet casing markings in the same exact way that the defendant supposedly ejected an unfired round, that is nonsense.
Yep. 100%. 100%. It's just stupid. Hey, Buru Berries, how are you? Also, like Runkle's take on this expert too, which was, this is horseshit.
Yeah.
I can imagine him saying that.
Yeah.
I can imagine him saying that. All right. So what you got there?
Okay. So this
That
is
looks
some
dirty.
basic. Okay. So this top one, this is a cartridge that fits into a barrel and a chamber that's made for it.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say I want to change my design up and I want to do one where I've actually got like a casing that's going to fit, like, I'm going to make it a little more obnoxious here, but I'm going to completely change the dimensions of the case. So instead, the case looks like this. And you can tell that orange is a dead space, okay? but I don't. I only have, I've only got this.
Mm-hmm.
So what I can do is I can fire a cartridge that's undersized. The casing's undersized.
Yep.
And the bullet fits in the barrel and everything. You shoot the bullet down the barrel. What happens is the pressure from the, that will cause. You will force the bullet, or you'll force the casing to swell up. It's called fire forming. You will force it to become that thing. So it will eventually, if you do it right, it'll swell up, and you could extract it then, but you now have a chambering that fits the chamber of this new rifle. Because otherwise you'd have to go design a new case and everything. Instead, it's called fire forming. It's a very efficient way of making a new casing. Or if there was a massive defect in the chamber somewhere, like there's a big gouge in it or something like that, the brass will imprint that. There's also a very common thing for German rifles made by Heckler & Koch. They do what's called a fluted chamber, meaning the chamber is not a solid piece of metal, but it's only got like 6 pieces of contact, 6 metal spines on it. Well, when you fire the casing, it fills the gaps. So you end up with this piece of casing that's got spine marks all over it, the fluting marks on it.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, this idea of, and I hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
You basically take the casing, and instead of being like this, you can kind of pop the sides out.
Sure.
You can make it change to a lot of different shapes. So, Brad says I could have shown a pic from the internet. I don't know, man. You start showing pics, you kind of push the luck of YouTube about what they'll do.
Oh, okay. I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did a Canva what little soccer mommy is. I had to find somewhere that had to do it. So,
oh my God,
so
Sean
this
did a Canva. Right. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So basically, what this toolmark expert has done is taken another round and fired it to try and get the imprints to look more identifiable.
Which is not how they would have been done. They would have been, that round would have been cycled through the gun, meaning it would have been loaded, and then somebody would have racked the slide back. The slide would have gone back. Casing, the cartridge would have flown out. You would have grabbed it. Now you have a cartridge that's been cycled through the gun, but it's a complete cartridge.
Yeah. So there's no control, right? So there's no other gun of the same make and model to
what
show.
If he ejected it? What if he was holding it like this and he ejected it? Would that change it?
No.
Okay.
No. Can I
cooler,
finish
though,
asking my question? Is there another gun to check whether or not if you put a spent round in it? Sorry, not spent round. An unspent round in it.
It's a SIG 226 and 40 cal.
Yeah.
They've made millions of those since the 90s, and even really into so like how many of those have they made? Tons of them. Tons of cops carry these. So the idea is, would this be likely? Yes, I'm assuming every gun that came off that line had its extractors made on the same tooling, had its barrels made on the same tooling. Those come in lots and batches. I'm sure you could probably grab about 15 of them, and you'd have similar marks, absent some massive defect.
Same CNC G code files.
Well, they don't.
Speed.
Well, SIG was big on MIM for a long time, so.
Not G code. Okay, well, whatever. Same.
Yes.
Same CNC.
Yeah, apparently
file.
you're right, Brewer Berries. Apparently Brad Weber did have one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I don't get this. So how can they say it's his gun when
they can't?
You haven't checked?
They have no fucking idea.
Whether or not, when
they have
haven't
no
checked,
idea.
Other guns don't have the exact same markings come out of it.
Oh, he has. He had a West German SIG. Wow. Very nice, Richard Allen. Those are the nice ones. No, really. The 6 Sauer.
He has good taste.
Well, no. The 6 Sauer is made in, like in the Deutschland, as we might say. Those ones are the good ones.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting, but This blows my mind. Like, that's bad choice of words.
Well, no, they didn't get shot, so it's okay. You can use that.
Sure. But yeah, how can you not check that a different gun does not make the exact same marks?
And firearms examiners usually consult with a firearms library. So.
What?
you have a library of firearms. You can I have a SIG 226 in 40 cal. Let's see what it looks like. Boop. And you try it.
Okay. So we don't even know for sure if the bullet had anything. No, of course we don't know if it had anything to do with the bullet.
Well, it had nothing to do with it because they weren't killed with it.
No.
Unless he started throwing at them. They're like, oh, it hurts. Stop.
Yeah. Well, that's the first thing people ask when they hear about the bullet. They're like, but they weren't shot, were they? No. No. Absolutely.
Oh, the ISP had, like I said, a lot of cops use these. You can find 40 cal handguns being surplused all the time on websites.
Oh.
And the ISP probably, oh, there you go. The ISP had them too. There you go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Justice Smith is surprised nothing to do with the murders. Oh, I'm sure whoever had it dropped it. Or something happened where he had to cycle a firearm. Maybe he cycled it to scare the girls into compliance. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's the only. Like it wouldn't make any sense for the threaten them by ejecting.
Well, it would because I don't have to. If I'm around people and I go bang, but I can go cheat and I can slide. I can rack the gun. Now you know I mean business.
Would they
understand
like
people think they could rack a shotgun?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. But here's the thing, though. People fuck up all the time, though. Maybe that was in his pocket and it fell out or something happened. I don't know.
That's possible.
Or it had been there for a while and is unrelated to anything.
Yeah.
I
find that hard to believe, though.
I'm imagining the person who actually said down the hill is behind the girls and they had a gun.
Yeah.
Like, down the hill and they had a gun because it sounded like they were threatening, and I don't think that the person that is in the video, Bridge Guy, is moving his mouth and that sound is coming from that person. It's too far away. That's just what I think. But regardless, it's doubt. It's doubt. There's so much doubt. Maybe it was part of an art piece. Well, who knows? Who knows? Or maybe some cop dropped it there. Maybe. There's always that.
Hell, that'd be nice.
Oh, please. Now, last quote, and I think it's important. Imagine being a Delphi trial juror, sitting in trial for 3 weeks, seeing crime scene photos of murdered girls, then poring over all evidence for days, trying to decide the fate of a man and be solely responsible for justice for the girls, and then after trial, you go online and see all the info you didn't get to see in court, didn't get to consider. I'd be sick.
Yeah.
I'd be pissed. There's so much. Just imagine. It's bullshit. It is just bullshit. All right. We do this every Sunday, guys. Yep. This has been awesome. Thank you, everyone, for contributing. Thank you. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Dolly. Thank you, chat. Wow. What do you think's going to happen? Oy. I'm actually sick nervous. I'm so nervous about this. I've never been so nervous about a verdict before than this one. It's so weird. Yeah. That's what would get me. If you get out and open up the laptop and you're just like, who the fuck are Brad Holder and Elvis Fields? I would just be, what is this Odinism thing and why didn't we hear about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Subscribe to Sean. Absolutely. Sean, what are you doing in the next few days?
Well, I mean, the election is still going, and it sounds like there's going to be some rumblings of lawsuits being filed, but we don't know yet. So
the last drop.
If those happen, we'll be getting involved, and that's one of them. And it took me longer to read through. I've read through part of it. Is the Illinois not the Illinois Supreme Court. Federal judge shot down the Illinois assault weapons ban, so that's a pretty big one we're looking at.
Wow. Okay. So I thought it was over. Not over.
No, not over yet. It's never over. No,
it's never over. This is America, man. This is never over.
Blue Anon has their theories now.
Oh God, that's. Okay,
you thought QAnon was bad. Wait till Blue Anon.
Oh, Blue Anon.
It's that goddamn Starlink.
Yes.
Being a nerd, of course.
Well, that too.
Being a nerd. Nothing is over.
Nothing is over.
Good to have all the new people in chat. Hello. Lots of people I haven't seen before today. Lots of people. Blue Anon for Richard Allen. California's still counting?
Oh,
wow.
God, then I don't want Richard Allen to win.
What's going on with California?
Yeah,
California's not going to go red, is it? Sure.
No. It's because for some reason, I think Arizona's still technically counting too.
Oh yeah, big time.
Oh, okay. Right,
one of our counties, their tabulator broke. They should have got a new one today. So they should be counting again. But...
The tabulator broke.
Yeah. Well.
Oh dear. Become a member and join our salacious, outrageous Discord community. Excited Utterance and Dali Talk. We have a Discord together. It's lots of fun. If you're a member of either my channel or Dali's channel, you get access to that as a member perk. If you have become a member today, make sure that you go to my member perks section and go to the link to our Discord and you'll be allowed in. It's great fun. And you get the best notifications, not the crappy YouTube ones. Awesome. I want to thank our wonderful guest, Sean. It's always great having you on here and getting to catch up and getting your insight into things. Oh,
good luck, Richard. Good luck, Rick.
Good luck, Richard. Yes, Rick. Imagine if he's out and we get to actually hear from him. That would be cool. I hope that he's coherent and
I don't think he is right now, but
I don't think he really is. Yeah, I think he's not himself.
No,
but it would be really nice if he. I would think give him 6 months, maybe give him 6 months of recovery, but eventually it'd be really nice to hear him. Free Richard, yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't want to make him relive any of this. No. He'll be fucked up in the head for a while. Yeah, absolutely. Is potentially criminal having a dance party? All those quick light changes. I saw some lights going off in the back over there.
Oh no, I didn't realize I was playing with the light. I didn't realize that's it was the light for my stream light.
Oh, sweet, cool.
Alrighty.
Okay, so Dali, also, what have you got coming up?
Gonna be starting a new trial tomorrow, unless the Delphi verdict comes in, because they're going tomorrow.
What's the trial?
Yeah, tell us.
The South Carolina versus Craig Lewis. Basically, his wife was lighting the fireplace. Something happened.
She fell in.
Something happened, and she got burns all over her body.
Oh, wow.
Well, she lived for 10 months, and it's in the same county as Murdaugh.
Oh,
good old boys. They're talking about
she just
the
fell
years
in the fireplace. Ooh.
And
she smelled like brisket when we got done.
The defendant was married to the mother of a girl he dated in high school, and it's all kinds of trailer park nonsense and
awesome
bad police work, and
I can't wait.
Hilarity ensues.
Yay! So are you starting 4 p.m. Eastern with that one?
Yes, 4 p.m. Eastern.
Sweet. Okay, cool.
Yep.
All right, I'll pop in once I wake up.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm going to do some reactions to some of Nancy Grace's bullshit this week.
Yay.
Both on Richard Allen and Koberger, because she's just being stupid. And I like making fun of her. So why not? It's trending right now, so might as well. Okay, cool. Let's do it, guys. Time for the song. Thanks for being here.
She was an Aussie. She was a fake lawyer from the future. She got on YouTube. and make some live streams. The co-host is Dolly and she dances sometimes. The words are always so loud and because she's an 803. To be excited utterance. Her cat is staring from where he goes missing.